almost forgot to turn my mic on. Good morning, Twitch. Good morning, Twitch. Good morning, Twitch. One more adjustment. I'm going to put that on the Google Chrome there. We don't need it on the Roku. Good morning, all. Good morning. Rich Roberts. Fireman Rich here on the Twitch. Fireman Rich over there on Truth Social. And Fireman Rich over there on that thing that came out yesterday, that new shiny toy that I was almost getting FOMO over. What's it called? Threads. I'm on Threads. Fireman Rich. Just Google Fireman Rich. You'll see where I'm at. For those that I did get a notification after the broadcast yesterday, Ted, if you're listening. I'm not using Twitter anymore. I'm off of Twitter for a month. I'm taking a Twitter break. I'm not too happy. I like Twitter, but taking a step back, exploring other adventures there. And but good morning, folks. We're getting our day started here on this 07.07.2023. Current time is 05:47 a.m. Eastern time here in upstate New York, the southern tier of upstate New York. This morning, where I do have the morning coffee, and it is tasting mighty fine. We had a little blip. I want to apologize for that, but I figure I might as well nip it right in the bud. We're in the green. I think I've got it dialed in now. And what I mean by that, I updated to the newer OBS 29.1.3. I am an OBS user. I love OBS. As many headaches that it does give me and stuff, but it gives you challenges. It gives you challenges in using. There's a learning curve. There's a learning curve on everything. But I've been having some issues. I'm at 55, 56, 57 KBS. My CPU is like 0.1, 0.2%. I'm not dropping frames. Now, when I came on just a few moments ago, I was dropping frames. I'd say I got to move that encoder back now. I actually moved it up, then moved it back, moved it. You know, I had to go the other way, so I moved it down one. It's dialed in now. I'm in the solid green. Of course, I don't have control over my internet, which my internet has. As far as I live on a rural area, if it's raining or the wind is blowing and the lines are moving around, that has an effect on your internet. So, but for the most part, I'm pretty stable here, and as far as that goes, so I'm loving that. But let me say good morning to the folks in the chat here. Salute to you, Tony. Hashtag positive start to the day. Hashtag PSTTD. The missus is still getting up there. Let's see, I did, okay, be right back, doing a reset. Yeah, I'm still seeing the comments, doing a reset. I deleted that brief intro there. Let's see, Tony D, yes, good morning, as far as that goes. Thank you for being here. And Melanie, Melanie made it early for a change. Okay, good morning. Hello, Melanie. Thank you for being here. Hey, Rich, I got up early this time. What the hell time is it out there in Australia this morning, man? What do you mean early? It's you're in your early evening over there. It's what, you're at 7, about almost 10 to 8 over there in Australia right now on the west coast or east coast of Australia there. But glad to have you, Mel. And 7:50 Friday night. Oh, okay, Friday night. Okay, so you're exactly. And Jeeves, good morning, Jeeves. Mr. Twix here on the Twitch. And we have Melanie. I thought we had some more people. Let me just make sure. And Tony and Jeeves, you like your nice shiny object? I've known Jeeves for a long time. And Tony's my brother, veteran. And I appreciate you guys, okay? You guys, let's just say that denotes I would dub you the true dudes I would want in my foxhole, and when the rough as far as that goes. So I found how to do that, so I figure out what the hell, you know, who can I give this to that really deserves it, and you two really do, as far as that goes, and I really appreciate it, especially Jeeves. Knowing Jeeves over 9 years now from Blab days, and Tony I've known for it's at least over 3 now, as far as when you factor in Haps, maybe longer. Yeah, 3 years, at least 3 years. as far as that goes. And Melanie, I've known off and on here. How long? When did you first? Yeah, 9 years, Jeeves. And Mel, God, I think it's been. I think I remember we knew each other over on HAP, so it's over 2 years. So for the most part, everybody that comes into the chat are from the old HAPS family, and I really appreciate that. I am very thankful for that takeaway as far as when we left HAPS, as far as that goes. Maybe 4. You don't really? You think? I'm not arguing with that. I know it's at least 2, maybe 3 years. I think we know each other more now than we did before. I knew who you. I think I've seen you. You were on Periscope, weren't you? I think you were on Periscope. I was more of a Periscope viewer more than a broadcaster, as far as that goes. But the OBS is stable as far as coming in, so I think I got down. I might be gaming later today to check that out. And Tim Fan, yo, coming in from Michigan. Glad to have you this morning, Tim. And welcome to the broadcast here as we get our day started. And as far as that goes, it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. The weekend is just upon us for those folks that have to work. As far as it goes, I was a Periscope viewer too. I was always in the chat. Maybe that's where I seen you as far as in the chat, because I remember you from HAPS. I almost want to say I vaguely remember, but then I wasn't really that much in tune to it and stuff like that. I was more, I was a casual. I was still doing the, I was really still into the audio, doing the audio. So now it's sort of flipped. I've lessened on the audio. I'm doing more on the broadcasting and stuff like that. And there was a broadcast last night, and I'm surprised I'm up this morning because I stayed up late. I took a nap yesterday, as far as that goes, a really good nap. And last night I got watching the Yankees. The Yankees got they got trounced and they lost another series. They got we'll go over the scores and stuff like that. And then the Mets were on after that. They're out west in the West Coast playing the Diamondbacks, and they ended up winning. So that took me into the beginning. Well, I did catch a little of Carmen's show last night, Carmen and Rick, but I was watching more in tune on the ball game. And before I said, you know what, I'm this far, I might as well just stay up for Ted's show. So I made it to Ted's show, which is a rarity. I was in the chat. I like being in the chat. I think he sent me an invitation because I saw that I got a notice. I don't look at my Twitter anymore, folks. So, if you need to get a hold of me via this platform, Twitch, or else True Social. If you go on True Social, or over there on the new program that hit the streets. Actually, it hit the streets Wednesday evening. Threads. I'm on Threads. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far, but we'll get into that. Currently here in the southern tier of upstate New York, it is 66 degrees Fahrenheit. It was a hot one yesterday. We got up in the 90s. We got the air conditioning going. I'm glad I got the lawn. Well, I mowed the lawn 2 days ago, and it was hot, but it got in the 90s yesterday. We got blue sky already out there with some clouds. Currently, though, 66 degrees, that's Fahrenheit, that's 19 degrees Celsius, and we're going to have another hot one today. We did get a walk in, me and the missus. It was actually cool during the walk. We went right after I did my podcast, the Fireman Rich Audio podcast, over there on Spotify for podcasters at 7:30. But let's see. Threads, Tim. I said Threads. You got to listen. Threads. I didn't say threats. I didn't have a T at the end. A thread does. Threads. Like you're threading something. As far as that goes, no threats here. This is a safe broadcast. Okay, Tim. Hey, we mentioned HAPS, so give me your HAPS thing. I missed it. Okay. Yeah, Threads. There we go, Melanie. Thank you. Yeah, Threads. It's a new one. If you don't know about Threads, all I'm going to say is you haven't been paying attention what's going on, as far, especially if you've been following the Twitter thing. That's why I'm taking a Twitter break. It's that Threads platform is threaded into the story. See how I use that? HAP sucks. There we go. Thank you, Tim. I missed that the other day. Yeah, HAP sucks. And Jeeves coming in. What kind of emoji is that? What kind of a DJ? Yes. Oh, that's a DJ disc. Okay. Okay. I've been well. You are busy. You're a contractor. Believe me, I know firsthand what contract they did. They let's just say my last 10 years of work, a contractor probably does more work in 1 week than I did in the last 10 years, and stuff. It says yes. Yeah, I saw that, G. So I hovered over it. But we got isolated thunderstorms during the morning, becoming more widespread this afternoon. High at 83 as far as that goes, and winds out of the west by northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain is 80%. Oh, so we got rain on the horizon here, starting at after lunchtime, 1 o'clock, going into the early evening. That'll be interesting as far as that goes. Sun rose this morning at 5:38 p.m. or a.m. 5:38 a.m. and that was about 20 minutes ago. And yeah, there's some blue skies out there. And let's see, sun will be setting later this evening at 8:44 p.m. And let's see what the air quality is real quick. Air quality. Not that it matters. It looks pretty clear out there, but I just getting used to using this page over there on airnow.gov, and you plug in your zip code. Oh, let me get that in the box. Oh, we're right in the green. Okay, so this is the best we've had. We got good air quality today here in the southern tier. Oh no, we're at moderate. How come we're at moderate? Oh, we're 50. We're 2 points above. I got a little excited there. It's still good. Anything under 100. Actually, the map shows that we're in the green, and as far as that goes. And let's see what we got for country here. Of course, we've had those wildland fires up there in Canada. That's blown smoke all over blowing smoke on the U.S. They're trying to bullshit the United States. Our Canadian friends to the north there, the firefighters, I wish them well, and be safe, please. Wildland fires, I always say, they're probably they're the hardest and most taxing fires to fight, and I did fight my share of them as far as that goes. So we got just some patchy yellow, and actually the map shows that we're in the green. And same as down in Georgia there, Tony, except for what is that? Atlanta, of course. And what's that other area there? George? Oh, down in Macon. Around Macon, it's yellow too. Is Macon highly populated? Macon, Georgia? Oh, it's just north of Warner Robins, Tony. Okay, I see where you're at. I see where Warner Robins is, and then up the road you got Macon, and then further up the road is Atlantic. Okay, I see where you're at. Yeah, just it's actually the road that goes up, and you got Macon. It's off to the east. There's a little yellow spot of bad quality, so I don't know what's going on there. And let's see, up Tim Fans Way. Let's see, in Michigan. Oh, Michigan. Where's the bad air in Michigan? Let's see. It's over in the Kangaroo area, or Kalamazoo, over by Kalamazoo. Kalamazoo going up to Holland, Michigan. You got the yellow. Everything else looks clear. So the northeast and down south is clearing up there as far as that goes with the weather. Our world times and temperatures as we speak in Honolulu, Hawaii at 12:01 a.m. They're just coming into today. Cloudy skies, partly cloudy, partly clear, 75 degrees Fahrenheit. In Phoenix, Arizona at 3:01 a.m. Clear skies, 84 degrees Fahrenheit. Albuquerque, New Mexico at 4:01 a.m. 66 degrees Fahrenheit. Clear skies there. Cloudy skies in Chicago, though, at 5:01 a.m., 66 degrees Fahrenheit. And New York City, at 6:01 a.m. currently here, and also down in New York City, cloudy skies, 73 degrees Fahrenheit. And down there in Warner Robins, Georgia, Tony checks in with 73 degrees Fahrenheit, 91 for the high. What did we have? We had 80s in the high for us, didn't we? I think, yeah. Yeah, 83 for the high. Yesterday it said 90. It got into the 90s. My garage thermometer outside, it punched over 95 easily. Let's see, Batoni down in Warner Robins, Georgia, just south of Macon, by the way. I saw that on the map. 73 degrees Fahrenheit, 91 for the high, 72 for the low, clear for the most part there. And let's see, we over across the Atlantic Ocean, the pond in Cork, Ireland, at 11:02 a.m. Cloudy skies, 63 degrees Fahrenheit in Milan, Italy. At 12:02 p.m., 79 degrees Fahrenheit with sunny skies. In New Delhi, India, cloudy skies, 3:32 p.m. in the afternoon, 88 degrees Fahrenheit in Mumbai, India, south of New Delhi. At 3:32 p.m. also, 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Is it raining? Oh, it's raining still. It was raining yesterday in Mumbai. In Kuala Lumpur, we got thunderstorms again in Kuala Lumpur. There's a lot of weather going on over there in that part of the world. At 6:03 p.m., it's 82 degrees Fahrenheit. In Tokyo, Japan, at 7:03 p.m., partly cloudy, partly clear, 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Down there in Melbourne, Australia, at 8:03 p.m., cloudy skies, 55 degrees Fahrenheit. And over in Sydney, clear skies at 8:03 also p.m., 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Of course, they got the cooler temperatures because Australia is experiencing their summer. Let me get to the thought for the day, and we'll talk a little bit about the new shiny toy. Our thought for the day comes from, we've had him a couple times last week, Ralph Waldo Emerson. He's becoming a regular here now for quotes. A great American essayist who went on, Ralph Waldo Emerson, who went by his middle name, Waldo, was an American essay, lecturer, philosopher, and poet. I know him mostly as a poet from my English studies there, getting my college degree. Oh, no winter, Mel? So it's a warm, okay, there's no, okay, I just saying the temperatures, those are low temperatures and stuff, and I know when we have our summer down in the southern part of the equator, we are opposite to you. No winter, Rich. Yeah, so if we're having summer, you're in your winter. Yeah, we're north of the equator, you're south of the equator. So I'm just saying, when we have our summer, usually everybody below the equator is experiencing their winter season. So I agree, we are the opposite. Oh, I said summer for Australia. Oh, no. I meant winter. I'm sorry if I said that. I meant it's the opposite. We are the opposite. If we have winter, it's definitely hot down there in Australia. It's a lot hotter down there than their summer than our summer and stuff like that. So I guess, okay, there we go. We got it squared away. Correct the broadcaster because he's a bonehead. It's all good. Sometimes I listen back on the replay, Mel, and I say, did I actually say that? I didn't want to say that. I meant the other thing and stuff. Yeah, it's when you're cruising along as a broadcaster, you're trying to. It's like a chess player. I'm thinking two steps ahead, and I don't realize what I said here. Even the missus picks up on it. She said, "Didn't you mean to say this?" And I was like, "Oh shoot!" And yeah, it's live. What can you do? Okay, you guys can have fun with it at my expense. Anyway, Ralph Waldo Emerson, I know him as a poet. He was born up there in Boston, Massachusetts, and passed away in Concord, Massachusetts. And I lived up there in Concord, Lexington area for a good, 6-7 years there, so in my Air Force career. But his quote and our thought for the day goes as follows: the reward of a thing well done is to have done it. Wow. The reward of a thing well done. I think I do a well job here. Is to have done it, and I've done it. Simple, plain and simple. That's what to give you something to think about up here. So think about that. The reward of a thing well done, something you do, is to have done it. It's finished, or else you do it again, like we do with this broadcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, or else if I'm broadcasting otherwise. So let's see what we got here. Yes, wise pick up on that stuff. I know. There you go. And I'm not. I don't question it at all. She says that it's like she's more than my better half. She's the anchor there. So Ralph Waldo Emerson, a great poet. I like him. I like his poems. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but he's one of the gentlemen there that one of the poets back in the day that I couldn't stand. I said, why do people read this? And I have to mention her name, Dr. Cepeda, professor. She was a professor for University of Maryland. I don't think she's still alive because it's been so long. God bless her. Lived for her books. She never watched any TV, watched any movies. She just read books. She was an 18th century woman, I guess. She never listened to the radio. She worked for IBM in a but she gave that up to teach for the University of Maryland. And I took my English, first 2 years of English for my college, my associate's college degree there for the University of the Air Force through her. And it's I thought I was over in my head. I say this, and when I can still remember that first day I'm sitting there and say, do I really want? Am I really this smart? She was a great person, a great teacher, and she had an impact on my life. And she taught me and showed me that I can like poetry. I don't have to love it, but I can like it. I can enjoy it as far as that goes. So thank you, Dr. Cepeda. A nice woman. Let's see. Let's get to our. Let's see what the national day is, and then we'll talk about the new shiny thing. I talked about it yesterday in my audio podcast here on Spotify for Podcaster. Let's see. We got National Dive Bar Day. I don't know. Well, it's Friday. I think we're gonna go with Global Forgiveness Day. I like this one because I love rock and roll, folks. Today is National Day of Rock and Roll, and we're going to go with that one. I do like that one. I'm not even checking. I don't think there's any other ones, but on July 7th, National Day of Rock and Roll on the National Day calendar, and it's time to put on your dancing shoes to dance the day away. Hopefully that helps you at work and as far as that goes. Hey, Jace. Oh my God, Jace, you didn't have to do that, man. Thank you very much, sir. Jace, producer, or James. I'm sorry, James Price, Aviation. I'm sorry. I thought I was. God, what's wrong with me? James, coming in from the UK. There, he does. He's a broadcaster here. James Price Aviation. He does the simulation on the flying. Thank you for the subscription. You don't have to do that, okay? I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. I really appreciate it. I just glad that you're here in the broadcast. Thank you, James. I greatly appreciate it, sir. You don't have to do that. I'm one that I could care less about the subscription. Watch the commercials. I know people can't stand. Hey, James, thank you. Very good, sir. It's appreciated as far as that goes. So July 7th is National Rock and Roll Day, and on National Rock and Roll Day we plan to help you get your groove started with rock and roll. Just listen to your rock and roll channel. Hashtag Day of Rock and Roll. The history of rock and roll began in the late 1930s with the African American music containing a combination of jazz, rhythm, and blues, gospel, and country. That's the true roots of rock and roll. By the 1940s, instruments like the saxophone and piano were added to the sound, intensifying the appeal. It wasn't until the 1950s that rock and roll hit the mainstream music scene, causing a social shift. Oh, that's a good word, social shift. I don't know if we're doing one of those social shifts. National Day of Rock and Roll explores the impact that the music genre has had throughout the. And I love rock and roll. When I go on Mixcloud, which will be next Tuesday, the 11th, I do rock and roll songs. I love, or for the most part, rock and roll. I love all forms of music, good music. You know, there's some music out there that's like, really. And I'm not talking about your music, Tony, so don't even go there, okay? I love your music, the rap. Rap is good. Rap is a great... would you say rap is a spin-off of rock and roll, or was rap always there? That'd be interesting. Explore the history. You like that one, Tony? I knew you would. I know when Tony back on the half set, he would always have this pre-warning. You may not like this, so don't be here and stuff like that. And I always felt like he was talking to me as like, Tony, I would say let's see, I don't like rap that much. Okay, I wouldn't. There's history of it through the early 1900s. Yeah, but rap, I guess for me, raps, I knew the rap and stuff like that, but I guess it was Eminem. I love his songs. Some of his songs are very, very, they punch you right in the face. And that's what music should do. It should be emotional and very inspiring and stuff. And the missus, I think she's more of country. I'm rock and roll. I do like rap. I like classical. There's some classical music tunes that I do enjoy listening to, but it's mostly rock and roll. I like the combination when you get the combination of you got country and rock then rock and class, and then there's some rock and rap. It's when you get that cross, I love that. That's, it's you have to enjoy all. It's up to the individual and stuff like that. But like I never really cared for country. But they throw you sprinkle a little rock and roll in there. It's like, oh, I like that song. The big guy I'm listening to now, me and the missus, is Jelly Roll. Look him up. He's a hot ticket on the country scene. He's got some very powerful music too. I would recommend him if nobody knew what country music was. Well, not the twangy stuff. The hee-haw days. Okay, you had that, but the current rock and roll, current country music scene. I would say look up Jelly Roll and listen to some of his songs. Listen to his lyrics. Very powerful lyrics. And he's a big guy. Oh my God, he's like 3 of me. But he can pack out some music, and so Jelly Roll. And the missus first told me, it's like, who the hell's that? Okay. Like I said, I am off of Twitter for a month. I'm on this program called, let's see. See, I got this notification. Chris Technician is liking some old frickin' tweets as far as that goes. I'm not even using Twitter. So why are you liking them, Chris? You bonehead. I say that jokingly, Chris, if you're watching this on the replay. But it's like I'm not there. Okay, so I'm not even, you're liking a broadcast that was over a week ago. Chris is going to be liking old tweets now. Stop, Chris. Get over on Truth Social. Like that. Or else over on, I'm posting the same things over on Threads. But he liked that's weak, Chris. I'll tell you straight up. Jokingly, it's weak. As far as that goes. So, but I'm not on Twitter. I'm not utilizing Twitter. I see the alerts that come up, but I'm not recognizing. I'm off of Twitter for a month. I'm on I'm on over there on Truth Social. I know Truth Social's maybe a little too right for a lot of people. Okay, I understand that. That's why I'm on Threads. Threads covers everybody. I think Threads, if you want to put it's more opposite of Truth Social. Let's face it. The reason people don't like Truth Social is because they don't care for former President Trump. Okay, BFD, I could care less. That's your bag of donuts, not mine. So don't preach to me that, it's a good platform though. Okay, I like the platform. There's this, and I'm liking what I'm seeing of Fountain, and let's see what we got here for the current. So I'm over there on Fountain as far as that goes, and there's my Fountain page. That's one of the pictures I tweeted of the new Tony. Wouldn't you like to work on that jet, the X-59 that NASA's playing around with? That's futuristic. That's back in the day that thing would be highly classified. But we're talking about Twitter and Threads. Yep, yeah, that I guess they got it out of the hangar. It hasn't flown yet, okay, from what my source is telling me, but they got it out of the hangar. It's rolling around. They're going to go do ground testing on it. So I guess that's ground, sort of like ground turns on a helicopter. They're going to crank up the engine, see what they can shake off and rattle with the engine. That's got to be one powerful engine, but they say that's supposed to go very, very fast. And but this is, I took Twitter off of my smartphone, and I got Fountain on it. I got Fountain on my tablet here, as far as that goes, and I'm liking Fountain. Okay, couple things though. Fountain, Rick Costa? Rick was on last night with Carmen. What's Rick's last name? Is it Costa? I'm following him too. Let me give Rick let's see, I got 10 followers. Let's see, Rick Costa. Rick Costa posted something on Threads. You can't delete, once you make an account, you can't delete it. There's no delete of it. To delete it, you have to delete your Instagram. Now, I did mine via Instagram because it's Instagram Threads. It's a spin-off. It's a Twitter-like, and there's already legal action. I guess Twitter's taking to cease to continue, or just cease what you're doing there, Threads, because Twitter is claiming there is Twitter technology or something like that, or Twitter's suing to stop them, because I think Twitter sees that this could be a potential this is the quote Twitter killer. I don't think it will be. I think it's competition. I think what we're seeing is between Twitter and Threads is you got McDonald's and Burger King. They're going to go back and forth. But Rick Costa says if once you start an account, if you want to delete it, you have to delete your whole Instagram account. So just that was as a public service. The thing I don't like, there's no DM, there's no direct message. But Tony has told me you can go back Instagram, but I don't follow. There's people I'm going to follow on Threads that I wouldn't necessarily follow. I keep my Instagram people that I follow really close and tight. I don't have a lot of followers. Fountain is, or Threads is going to be a different story. It's going to be like my secondary, actually my third platform, because I had Twitter. I'm taking a break, but it's Truth Social. It's this one, Threads, and then I got Getter, Gab, and then I have the real Fireman Rich Facebook. So I'm already following Carmen, Chester Capaco. He's a former police officer. Soul Crusher. There's a guy people should follow at Soul Cruiser. Cruzer. He's a gentleman that I've known. He's a West Point grad from years back. Retired Army, or he got out of the Army. He lives over in the UK. Really good guy. Really good pod. He's on Mixcloud too. I've known him since the audio days. A really good guy. I'm my good friend Frank Hansen. I'm following him. He followed me back. I worked with him at McConnell Air Force Base. Great guy. Knowledgeable Chavez. I remember this guy from Haps. He's a character. So I'm following him. Rick Costa. This morning I got a notification for I Am Warrior Grandma. I'm following her. The real Ted Hicks. He finally got on the stick, and Tony, of course, and Vince Beans. Remember Vince? Vince is a great guy. He's a great guy. So those who I'm following right now, the followers, or no, that's who's following me, but I'm following those people back. But of course, I'm following Richard Branson, Newsmax, Fox News, New York Post, Chris Pirillo. I'm refollowing Chris Pirillo. I'm going to see. Sometimes he can. I don't want to call it spam, but he has a lot to say. I've known Chris Pirillo since, oh God, when I first got on this thing called the internet. He's a great guy, very knowledgeable. Can be a little whiny at sometimes, but who isn't? But he gives two thumbs. I give Chris Pirillo 2 thumbs up. He's really into the 3D printing, and he's here on Twitch, also YouTube, and he has good things to say about Threads. So this guy, he really knows his shit as far as that goes. So and then Richard Branson, I like Richard Branson. Joe Com, I'm following him. I'm not. He does a lot with the NFTs or something like that. I'm following Joe Com. He's not following me back, but he did follow me on Twitter. He wrote 2 books on Twitter, 2 New York bestsellers, and I've talked to him back in the Blab days quite often. He's a great guy. He lives out there in where's he live at? He lives out there in Denver, Colorado. He's a good guy. So I'm liking what I'm seeing of Threads, and I want to recognize that. And I'm on Threads. I had this up all day, looking at the threads, and I had enjoyment. It was really good. It runs fluid. It's let's see, what's the latest one here? What do we got? The latest threads here. Here's a cartoon. In the morning, he trolls on Twitter, and in the afternoon, he trolls on Threads. It's a person. There's a cartoon, okay? You got a lot of good memes on here and stuff like that, and a lot of good. It's reminiscences of Twitter back in the beginning and stuff like that. So we'll see how it pays out. I'm still following to see what Twitter does. I don't think they've lifted the so-called lifted the 1,000 view limit on unverified accounts. That's my big sticking point. Just like I had a sticking point on Haps, and as Ted Hicks, or as our good friend Tim Fan said here in the broadcast so far, he said Haps sucks, and that's where it sucked. They went from portrait down to, or they went from landscape, okay, this, down to this, and then they had those floating heart turds. I can't remember that artist that coined that. He said, "Oh, they have the floating," and when he said that, I said, "That's it. It's the floating heart turds." I couldn't stand those. Oh my God, that was the only other thing. Those are the 2 things I did not like about Haps, other than the drama. That was a given. But those 2 things. But we're here on Twitch now, and actually my Twitch feed, I'm still in the green. I'm, knock on wood, this broadcast is going. I did have a few. I had 0.4% drop frames, so that's a lot better. Got to drop it down to the medium portion instead of, or actually just a notch below medium. There's like 5, because I have a Navid graphics card. Because I used to have a pain. The computer I had before that I got up to 8 gig of RAM, I never had a graphics card in there. It's always an inner circuit on the motherboard, and that was always, I think that was always conflicting on high CPU usage on when using OBS. I have no problems using OBS now. I've upgraded to 29.1.3. I have a graphics card that I think that absorbs a lot of the CPU rate, because right now I'm at 0.2% CPU rate, and we're floating at 58 kbps, and I'm broadcasting on 720p, and so it's running good. It's running very good, and so just dialing that in as far as and I'm not sure why. I don't know why that is. I think it has to do with some of the things that, my internet has been off and on, but I've seen other broadcasters having problems. Now the broadcast that I watched last night, I popped in to see Carmen and Rick while I was watching the ball game, but then last night I was on Ted Hicks's late night parenting. I was in the chat, just chatting away. I love that. That's a fun place to be. And it was a lot of good. We had Ted Hicks, you had Tony D, of course, you had JoJo, and you had Brian. And we made Brian, despite what Carmen said, an honorary New Yorker. Ted Dove, and I had to concur with Ted. So it's always fun. I had a ball. I mean, it was an hour and a half, and usually Ted, when you got a good broadcast, you lose track of time. So a very good broadcast last night, Tony. You guys did great, and as far as that goes, it's always good. I'm gonna have to I got to make it a point to take a nap on Thursday so I can make the late night parenting and stuff like that. But I did see that I had a notice from Ted, and I wanted to hit it, and I said no, that's probably he wanted me to be on last night and stuff like that. So I'm not going to be using Twitter. And that means not answering my direct messages. If it comes down to it, they can find me here. And then on a whisper or something like that off of Twitch, I can tell you, hey, you can contact me via this and that and stuff like that. So, but a very good broadcast last night, and it inspires me to do, when you watch guys like Tony D, Ted Hicks, Carmen, and Helen was in last night. I guess she had a broadcast. I got to watch the replay on that as far as that goes, because Ted said she was on. So I was busy watching the ball game last night, which I'm still shaking my head. The Yankees losing that badly. It's like it was horrendous. But the Mets won. We'll get to the scores as far as that goes. But when you see broadcasters like that, they inspire you, and I support them, support the broadcasters. Anybody, we have some great people that we've all met on HAPS, and we want to continue connecting with them and supporting them. And James, I met you here. I think I met you here on Twitch. And because I don't remember you prior, but it's just like you come to a new place. It's not really new. It's Twitch. You've been here for a while, but there's new people that you get to meet in cross feeds. And James is a great guy as far as he loves his flight simulator and stuff like that. And he looks like his setup looks like the real deal. I mean, when I first came across him, and I'm looking at his broadcast, I'm like, is he actually in the airplane? And then I'm like, then he shows his setup. Oh, okay, that's in his office there and stuff. He's got, because I have a very good friend from my fire school day. I've known for over 45 years now. My good old buddy Muntz. He's in the flight simulator. I remember he was an assistant chief up at the old Air Force Base at Plattsburgh, New York. And I was up there for a 30-day in-residence leadership school, temporary duty up there. And I got to go over to his house a couple times after classes. And he was showing me he was using the flight simulator. And I was still on the, what was I using back then? I was still on the Commodore 64. The good old green screen makes it look like I'm in a cockpit. Oh, does it? Does it, James? Yeah. The old green. Yeah, the dials. Remember the dials? Now your cockpit. What do they call it? The cockpit that's that the flight deck where the so-called cockpit, that display, that's called a glass cockpit now because it's all computerized. They don't have the old dials. I remember getting up into a B-52 doing aircraft familiarization for egress when I was a firefighter up at Griffiths. I got up in the cockpit and we're looking around, and you got all these dials. There's like thousands of dials on a B-52 display there, and I'm like, how do they keep? Well, it's two setups, okay, and but even still, is how do they keep track of all this crap? Now it's all glass. It's all computerized, I guess, because I see that on your setup, James, and that's pretty neat. That's neat stuff as far as that goes. I used to use on the Commodore 64. There was a flight sim. It was called F-15 Flight Simulator. I love that. Going in for a bomb run and so it was pretty realistic. The B-52 is iconic. 8 engines. Yes, 8 engines. Yes, a massive bird. They're still flying it. I mean, the wingspan. I know this fact. The wingspan. We know how the wings are down low. Those wings can flex anywhere up to 11 feet. Either 11 feet up and down. Because when they're flying, they used to do a lot of flyby. I used to sit outside the firehouse there up at Griffiths in the evening when they were doing touch and go, practice touch and goes. It was a 10,000-foot runway. And they come in and the wings would be up like this. And then when they land, they have their little wheels, they drop down. But then when they start to take off again for touch and go, you'd see those wings go like that. And I almost wanted to be a B-52 tail gunner back in the early 80s, but they were discontinuing it. Everything went computerized because the crew member that was at the fire station there on the flight line, that's where they had the flight line kitchen. And that's where the crews for the KC-135s or the B-52 crews would come in and get their box lunches for the night flights that they would do, night training flights. We'd be sitting there, and the cook there that was working the night shift, he would sometimes throw us a couple box lunches and stuff for nothing and stuff like that. But we'd sit there drinking coffee, and the guys that came in to get the box lunches for the B-52, it was a tail gunner. He was the all the other crew members. There was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 crew members. There can be up to 7 crew members, 8 crew members, but there's normally 6. Pilot, co-pilot. There's 2 backseat guys. And actually, one of the back seat guys was the tail gunner, but they switched that to but now they're all officers. So you had 2, 4, and then down in the cellar where you had the pilot, co-pilot, then the back seat there was the 2 guys, the engineer and radar guy. Down in the cellar, those are the guys I think worked with the arming the if it was carrying nukes. They were the bombardier. There's 2 guys down in the cellar because you'd have to enter up through the front, just behind the front landing gear, the hatch, and then you got on the first deck. That's the first 2, and then you had to climb up, and that's the main deck up there. Pretty cool setup. I love that. I didn't like getting on the top of it because our operation as a fire department, we'd get 2 35-foot ground ladders. This is for training. We'd put them up side by side, and we'd have to get on top of it and go through the hatch because they had ejection seats. You had 4 ejection seats that could go up and 2 go below. Hey, Walt, good morning. Walt, coming in. All is well, sir. Thank you. This is a big treat. Walt Hollick is in here as far as a fellow brother firefighter from he also did ARF. He did exactly what I did in the United States Air Force, but he did it in the UK Armed Services as far as that goes. Did you ever see Peter Sellers' movie? Yes, I did. That's icon, and how I grew to love. That's icon. That one shot. I know what I know you know what I'm talking about, James. That one iconic shot when he's riding the bomb. Classic movie. Glad to have you here, Walt. Glad to see you. And Walt Hollick is a great guy. He lives over in Ireland. He was in the armed forces for the UK. He did the ARF bit. And I think you were actually in combat, weren't you? What was that island down there off of South America that the Brits and the UK and the one of the South American countries there? I can't remember as far as that goes. Can't think of it. What the hell was it? That was a big... Yeah, Falklands. There we go. Thank you, James. Thank you, James. Yeah. I think Walt. I think he's told some stories where he was down there in the Falklands, as far as in his military career. Correct me if I'm wrong, Walt. I may be talking out my ass. Dispute between UK. Oh, it was a dispute. Okay, let's just throw a few grenades and bombs at each other and call it a dispute. I was in the Falklands. Okay, you were in the Falklands. Okay, yeah, that was a pretty interesting campaign there and stuff like that. So I remember that. That was like, whoa, this is serious. That was like the UK's version of us going into Grenada. They said, "Why are you going to Grenada? There's Americans down there. We got to, it's just like." As far as that goes, good to have you here, Walt. Though, great to have. I hope you have a great day there. You and Teddy, and Jeeves is here from Toronto. Glad to have you here, Jeeves. Okay, let's see. I can't believe my OBS is working really well this morning. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. As far as that goes, we're in the green. I've got 1.2% dropped frame. So and I'm at 60 frames per second. There's the big. I forgot about that. I'm at 60 frames per second. I forgot to say that. I used to. Let's see. Vancouver. What's Vancouver, Jeeves? Vancouver. Oh, Vancouver. I was fixated on. What's he mean by Vancouver? Is there a festival? Vancouver. Yeah. What did I say? Did I say Toronto again? Jeeves is from Vancouver. Vancouver. Oh, we just went into red. I think it was because I hit my mic. We went down to 39. Okay, we're back up. Let's see how this looks. And what are we at? 54 minutes, and we went down in the red. I'm still seeing us live. We're at 2% CPU, 3% or 0.3% CPU, not retired. Yeah, Walt is still a working stiff. Thanks, mate. Only a few hours and finishing the weekend. Yeah, Walt is still working, and let's see. We're dropping just a couple percent of frames. I think that's why we went into the red. But I'm broadcasting at 60 frames per second. I don't know if that was a switch because maybe I wasn't. You know how you get the engine going, and if you don't have it at full throttle, it just sort of goes shaky, jakey. So let's see. We're at 2.8% drop frames, and I'm seeing on the Surface 3. Picture quality is great. Okay, thank you. Well, I'm just voicing that audio wise so you guys can. I'm looking this on the Surface 3 and we're looking good. This happened once before. I had a great broadcast, but the OBS in the lower right was red. But I am showing a few drop frames, and that could be because of the internet because it's only 3%. And 71.8. It's going up a little bit. So why is that? But my CPU rate is still at like 2-3%, 0.3%, because I have a graphics card. So probably I don't have the meter up for the graphic. That's a CPU. The graphic card is probably doing the majority of the broadcasting here. It's a Navid something. It's not the high end Navid. I think it's a notch below the middle Navid. But we're still broadcasting at 57 kbs. So gotcha. I'm still learning. Yeah, I just like to observe things, and OBS, that's the one thing. I still got a good broadcasting going here, but that red usually indicates the encoder, and I am dropping frames now. It's at 4.2%. Is it still going to go up or did it go down? No, it's still going up. So I'm watching that meter. Let's see. Yes, I'm running. No, not oh, my GPU. Well, GPU. When you say GPU, correct me if I'm wrong, James. That's my graphics card. Yeah, I guess that's a GPU. Means see, that's an acronym I never knew about until I got a computer with a Navid graphics card. Because, like I was telling you before you came in, James, I think graphics card. Okay, GPU is a graphics card. And it's working great. as far as I think, because my old boxes, and I still have another Acer that I had, my old Acer. The graphics was through the motherboard, and when OBS, if you don't have that just right, running OBS through a graphics card that's embedded into your motherboard, it doesn't work. Are you still broadcasting to your radio station? Yeah, I still do the Mixcloud. I'm doing it twice a month there, Walt. The Fireman Rich, or the Tioga rate. God, what I got to bring up Mixcloud now. I got tongue tied. Let's see. The Tioga Radio Show. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I got a broadcast. It's over there on Mixcloud / Richard M. Roberts, as far as that goes. So I do that I'm going to do that this Tuesday. I will be posting it on Truth Social, and I will be posting it on Threads. Are you on Instagram Threads, Walt? I need to hook. I guess let's check and see. Where's my? Oh, here it is. Let's check and see if Walt is on Threads. Go to search, and let's see. I'm gonna just type in Walt Holick. Let's see. WALTHALLICK, right? LLICK. So we're looking for Walt on Threads. No results found for Walt Holick. I'm on Threads. Fireman Rich on Threads. Walt, it's a Twitter spin-off of Instagram. I'm on Instagram. Well, if you go into your Instagram on your phone, and if you hit your selections, you'll see a Threads. That'll take you to this spinning thing. HO? Is that O or 0? Yeah, I did. HO, not an A. Oh, did I put an A? Let me see. Oh, good catch. Good catch there, Walt. Maybe that's what it is. Let me check this. See, you guys pick up on this shit. I don't pick up on it. This is like... Let me put the O in Walt Holick. There we go. HOLLIC. Why did I think that was an A? Jeez Louise. Okay, we got done. Let's see. Is there anything? No, there's still... You're on Instagram, but through your Instagram, you should have it. You can go... I don't have Instagram on here. Let's see. Let me go on this. No hassle. No. We could do this. Let's try this. Okay. Hey, there's Vince. I'm following Vince on Instagram too. But on your main screen, okay, your page, you go over to the right, the three dots, and once you hit the 3 dots, after settings and privacy, you'll see Threads. Hit Threads, and you get this rotating invitation, okay? And at the bottom of that invitation, it says Get Threads. You hit that, and it signs you up for Threads. So you already have it embedded in your Instagram, because Threads is a spin-off. It's a Twitter, but it's like Twitter, but it's via Instagram. So... And Twitter's not liking it because they got a lawsuit out already to cease to continue, I guess, with what they're doing there. So I don't know. Am I following Walt on Instagram? I think I am, Walt. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't really use the Instagram that much. Let's just say I'm using Facebook and Instagram a lot more this last week since I started my Twitter. Okay, thumbs up. Good deal there. I'm using those platforms a lot more since I'm doing my Twitter break. So, all right, let's go ahead and do the interesting history for the day today. Let's see what we got on the docket. We have on this day, let's see. George Harrison recorded his new song "Here Comes the Sun" with two other Beatles, Paul and Ringo, at Abbey Road in London back in 1969. Um, let's see, what do we got over on the AP? AP. This is very significant. On this day, July 7th, 1976, the United States Military Academy at West Point, that's here in New York State, included female cadets for the first time, as 119 women joined the class in 1980. Now, my sister, we were sophomores that year. The next year we would have graduated. She almost got into West Point. Almost. I mean, she was that close. She had our class president ended up getting the selection to go to West Point, and but that was pretty big there. As far as they should have had women before that, but on this day, women first started at West Point, and I think after that, the Air Force Academy and the Naval Academy followed. In 1846, on this day, the USA annexed California. California was proclaimed Monterey after the surrendering of the Mexican garrison during the Mexican-American War. In 1898, the United States annexed Hawaii. As far as that goes, brilliant. In 1946, former President Jimmy Carter, who is still alive, God bless him, at 21 years, married Rosanna Smith, 18, in Plains, Georgia. So how many years is that? It's a long time. 1948, 6 females, female United States Navy reservists become the first women to be sworn into the regular Navy back in 1948. Wow, okay. Let's see, what else do we have? Anything else? Just some other garbage history. I'm not gonna mention and stuff like that. It's not worth mentioning. I want significant events, not just. Let's see. Last night, like I said, I just the Yankees. They stunk last night. I gotta say it. The Yankees lost to the Baltimore Orioles, which ends up they lost the series 2-1. But the game last night, I can't think of the player's name, but he was monstrous. 2 home runs, 5 RBIs total. The Orioles won 14-1. I was like, I couldn't believe that. Jeeves, your Toronto Blue Jays beat the White Sox 6-2 last night. They're in Chicago, and the New York Mets, they beat the Diamondbacks. That's the Mets lose, the Mets win 9-0. Let's see, the Yankees. Let's see, Blue Jays. They're going to be playing the Tigers tonight at 6:40. Jeeves, and let's see, the Yankees are hosting the Cubs. We'll see if they can get back on the stick there. And the Mets, they play the Padres. They're out west. They're Arizona. Now they're going over to San Diego to play the Padres. And as far as that goes. Let's see, tomorrow the Cubs, Blue Jays play the Tigers. It looks like that's who they're playing through the weekend too, as far as that goes. Canadian football. There was Canadian football last night, folks. It was a Thursday night game. Canadian football, they're in their, if I get to it here, they're in the 5th week. The Elks lost to the Rough Riders 12-11. So that's a close game. Tonight, you're going to have the Blue Bombers against the Stampeders at 8:30 p.m. Tomorrow will be the Redbacks against the Tiger Cats, and the Aleutians against the Lions. The Lions are a good team. Lost me all those clubs. Oh, okay. You know who the Yankees are, Walt. I know you got a Yankee hat, so I know you. I talk baseball. This is Canadian football. I'm incorporating Canadian football for the first time. We had the NFL, then we had the USF or the XFL football league, the USFL football league. They just got all done. Now I'm doing the Canadian football that will take. We got football year round over here in the North American continent, which is great. Not the soccer football, but the the pretend football that the soccer players always say that we call soccer, but it's actually football. Women's World Cup 2 week. Oh, that's right. The World Cup is going. I seen some. Yeah, that's going on there, and then we'll see how that pays out. Yeah, the Yankees. Yeah, I know you're a Yankee fan. Yeah, I've seen you wear the Yankee hat. I know you got a Yankee hat. I still remember that. I think you still have a Haps hat too. James, have the fires in Canada been put out? You were getting a lot of. As of now, I just at the beginning of the broadcast there, James, our air quality is good. It's under 100 throughout the whole Northeast. So that tells me that the smoke is either going someplace else or subsiding. They have wildland fires. They're not anything. They have actually. There's less wildland fires here in the United States and Canada in years past. It's just that when that smoke gets up there and it gets in the trade winds, I mean, we had a couple. It just weather just brings that smoke in. It's what we're battling now is the heat. It's in the dog days of summer, with the heat coming now until going into August and stuff like that. Grass is still green though, but it should be a pleasant morning on the walk this morning and stuff like that. So, and that's about it for now, folks. As far as that goes, we've been on for an hour and we're pushing an hour and 10 minutes. I want to say thank you for being here. It looks like if I didn't, let me check real quick here. This is all one broadcast, I'll put this up as I'll post this up over there on Truth Social, and the temperature currently is 66 degrees Fahrenheit. Walt, just a tad warmer than normal, but it's summertime. Okay, so whatever they say about the heat and stuff, it's summertime. It's the last couple days. It's they say it's all really hot. It's I've been in hotter days as far as that goes. As far as let's see. Let me see. Thanks, mate. Delay. Yeah, thank you for being here, Walt. Thank you, James. James coming in from the UK. Walt coming in from the UK. Let me cue the outro music. And let's see. Thank you, Tony D, coming in from Warner Robins, Georgia. Thank you, Melanie, coming in from God. Let me get my Queensland, Central Queensland, Australia. Thank you, coming in. She's finishing up her day as we're just getting our day started here. Thank you, Jeeves, coming in from Vancouver, Canada. Great to have you. Thank you, Tim Fan 43, coming in from Michigan. Here in the United States, and thank you again, James, for the subscription. Greatly appreciated, sir. Thank you. You didn't have to do that. I appreciate it. But we're at the end of the broadcast here. We're going to get our day started and get it going. As far as that goes, G says later. Take care, everyone. Walt's over in Ireland. I'm sorry. Walt is in Ireland, and what did I say? UK? Yeah. James is in the UK. Walt is in Ireland. Thank you, Walt. And Melanie, thank you. Appreciate you being here. Have a great weekend. Yes, it is the weekend. We'll be doing something here on Twitch. Just look for me and follow me over there on Truth Social and Threads, Instagram Threads. Y'all have a great one. This is Rich Roberts, Fireman Rich here on Twitch. Wishing you all well. We made it to the weekend, folks. Let's have a good time. Let's have some fun. All right, folks. Wherever you may be on this big blue marble, live life, have fun. Ciao for now. As always, peace. Take care. Thank you guys in the chat. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. You guys have a great one. Take care. And Bazanga. Thank you, Tony. Yeah, throw that Bazanga in there. Have a Bazanga day and weekend. Not a good one, but have a great one. and make it a Bazanga one. Thanks again, Tony. We'll be talking with you. Walt, Bazanga. Walt's bringing in the second Bazanga. Later, guys.